because it's part of us, you know. Detroit is very much part of MSU. Detroit is a major part of the state, and MSU is the state.
The area has in itself great human assets. If you just look at the people who were there, the way they've dealt with adversity, but still have a hope for the future and a sense of commitment to making Detroit a better place. And we want to be a part of that.
Our presence here is critical. Having the physical presence is critical. What this gives us is the opportunity to also now have some visibility and some presence, and to demonstrate in a very clear, open way our commitment and our sustained commitment to the city of Detroit.
Now, with the further investment in an actual physical location, it's really making a statement to Detroit that says Michigan State is here, and we're proud to be here and taking part in the transformation that's very real in Detroit right now.
We wanted to find a place where we could have a more visible presence, a place that was on Woodward Avenue, which is considered part of the heart of what people would define as Detroit.
Oh, it's an oasis, without any doubt. It gives me a rallying point, and it also gives us presence.
We look at this as an opportunity to be right there in the city, to continue those activities that we've had going for so many years, but to be more accessible than ever and more collaborative than ever.
It's finding new ways to have access to students who you know could be college bound with the right encouragement, hopefully Michigan State bound, and are finding those programs as new ways to gain access to really cool kids.
People still have trouble thinking about us as other than someplace else. And we are of the state. We're in every part of the state. Detroit, Southeast Michigan is really critical for the state, and therefore it's critical for us.
We also recognize quite clearly that it is about the economic survival of not only the city of Detroit, not only the state of Michigan, but really across our nation. And we understand quite clearly that we must literally position ourselves where it is that we need to invest our efforts, our resources, our knowledge, and demonstrate our commitment to doing this. And the building on Woodward is demonstration of that.
This allows us new air, new breathing. It reinvigorates. I just feel that way. So yes, we've been there. This is a new day, a new dimension.
The only way to make a difference in any programming anywhere is to work side by side with those that are the closest and the most heavily invested.
If you look at the work we have had historically with key partners in the community, Detroit Public Schools, United Way, and the list goes on and on, the Nature Conservancy with the riverfront, the zoo, I mean, the list is very extensive.
Working side by side, learning from each other. One of the things that we're very clear about in the College of Education is that preparing individuals to serve in urban contexts happens in the context of relevancy. We can't do what we do best, staying here and solely positioning ourselves here on campus. We must be where it is that we expect our future graduates to serve.
The way I would take it is when you're side by side, that means if the other guy falls down, you got to stand still and help him get back up. You do. You don't go ahead of them. And you're not even behind them, you're side by side, you know, because you're talking to them. I think it's an excellent metaphor, an example. It really is. That's the way I feel about a lot of the young men in particular that I deal with, because they have bought a false bill of sales many times that violence works or that no one gives a damn. So you got to look ahead to see who's up there, or you look behind and say, who was there? But side by side, I'm right there. It also is critical in allowing them to understand that while I'm side by side, you got to do your part to keep in step with me.
I know I am. I know our college is. I know our university is.
Oh, I think it can not only make a difference for the city of Detroit, I think it can make a difference for Michigan State University and in turn the state of Michigan.
We absolutely will make a difference and have been making a difference. I think when you bring Rodney Whitaker and our jazz faculty and mentors in to work with hundreds of Detroit youth, that makes a difference. They see adult role models and students. They see real college students who are like they are, and they can begin to see themselves in that place. They can dream of going to college and have better access to, how do you get there?
The people who will make the difference are, by and large, in any community, the people who are there. What we can do is provide additional assets. Sometimes we can be a catalyst for change because of our presence. Sometimes we can be a way that generates a different point of view that might be the key to unlocking a pathway that was yet to be found. And sometimes it's just important to have that the knowledge that's generated through a place like Michigan State available so that you can make better decisions.
It is, in my thinking, sort of MSU walking the talk of what it is that we really are all about as a land-grant institution. And we're doing it at a time that I think really compels that message even more, at a time when many may think of opting out. Michigan State University is buying in.
We know that the work in Detroit, the work in Southeast Michigan, the work across many communities in Michigan is for the long term. And and there's not a good way to measure assist because we're not going to be the ones who are going to be out in front with all the announcements of the programs.
We're going to look back in a few years and say, wow, when many were, as is often the case, writing the terrible story or the bad story about the city and the region, we began to write the good story.
And maybe the message that we're sending is that Detroit is a wonderful place, that it is a city that can be revitalized, that it is a population that cares and has much to offer.
We're sort of creating a role as in the basketball terminology, being the assist person on the team. We're going to score occasionally because we're going to have some very visible programs and activities, but by and large, we're there to be a partner and to make others' dreams come true.